Right, audio's running now. Cool, fixed it. Ha! Okay. That was fun. Let's do a couple of setting switches. All right. Cool. Sweet. And we're good now. Yeah, so literally, I just need to do an update. That's what the problem was. I just had to do an update. So one computer restart later. But here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you guys that remember, my old technical difficulties, if I had to do a computer restart, it would be like half an hour later. That was about 2 minutes, maybe, to do a computer restart. So the SSD card switch made things much faster when it came to solving problems. So, but yeah, my my webcam device just needed to do a quick update. So I just basically updated it, did the restart, and then here we are. But welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys all so much for stopping by. As always, my name is Eli. Tuesdays and Thursdays are our Q&A session days. I'm excited to jump into it. If you don't know why we have the video titled the way we do, basically it is a day where we can have conversations about the previous topic, because I usually don't have time to go through all of your guys' comments, questions, and concerns. So this is the time for you to do so, but it doesn't have to be related to today's video. You can ask me questions about anything. As always, we do weekly giveaways. All you have to do to enter is leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. But excited to jump into it. Let's see what we have today. Give a couple shout outs to people that are here. Tori, good to see you as always. Necro, Zapdos, Jose, Ripper, Scratchum, Trinell, and that's it so far, because usually it's more, but I had to do a restart, so all of the other messages got deleted. But today is going to be a little bit of an exciting day, and it'll be a little bit of an important day. I will make this announcement now, and then I will talk about this progressively throughout the video. Here is the deal. We are going to be, well, I am announcing right now that as of tomorrow, we are going to add more slots to the Patreon wholesale tier list. I will explain why. I was having a conversation with one of my buddies, shout out to a boss, and basically he brought up a very, very good point when it came to adding members. One of the things about the membership, right, that I think is extremely important is that people who are in the program realize the value that comes with it. And obviously those of you guys that are in the program right now, you guys know the value that comes with it. With that being said, one of the things that I discussed with you guys was I was saying I was waiting for either a large influx of product to come or I was going to be waiting for 151 pre-orders. I feel as if what that could do is incentivize people to more or less just join the program short term, and then once they've gotten their product and they no longer need it, then they just kind of bounce. That obviously is not something that, from both a loyalty perspective and a mission statement perspective, I'm looking for in the program. So for myself, like I said, discussing it over, I've decided that it makes more sense to open it now while we have a slow point in the market, because then it's going to more than likely be that people that are joining as this moment in time are those that are serious about the program and realize the value that comes with it. So when we do get pre-orders for 151 and we do get that large influx of Pokemon product, they'll have been patiently waiting for that product dump to have, and they'll take full advantage of the program. So, and it's one of those things that they will, it just makes more sense that way. And then two, since we're going to be adding 50 more slots, another factor that is taken into consideration is we obviously have an ordering process system. And if I'm going to, in theory, if let's say there was a large amount of Pokemon product that just got restocked and I add 50 more slots, well, that means that's 50 more people that if something goes wrong, I have to troubleshoot all at once. And so if I can do all that troubleshooting right now, while there's not a ton of orders being placed and everything has kind of slowed down, then for myself, that kind of just makes it easier for me to give everyone a better customer experience overall when it comes to order placements and the process. Not to mention too, most recently we've been doing some behind the scenes tutorials, videos that we've been trying to create professionally. So we've got 2 we're going to release tomorrow. The 3rd will be released sometime later this week. So it's going to make it so it's like a 1 minute, 30 second, 2 minute video. So instead of you listening to my 30-minute rant video and have to like kind of watch the whole thing and like kind of skip through it, hopefully you're not going to miss any important parts. Instead, you're just going to have a better explanation, a more streamlined system so that everyone can really get the full experience of the overall program itself. So that's kind of where I am right now at this moment in time. I'm going to officially launch it tomorrow at 12 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. That's going to be the plan. So, which will be 11 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So that is that's the deal, man. That is the deal. I will talk about this more than likely progressively throughout the stream because people are going to ask questions about it and so on and so forth. But how I'm going to do it is I'm going to drop the initial first 25 at the $75 price point. Wouldn't be surprised if that sold out probably in minutes or within the day at the latest. And then once that sells out, then I will drop the $100 price, or I'll drop them both at once. Kind of really just depends on how I want to do it. I feel like I want to do both at now thinking about it, doing both at once makes sense, right? Because then people are aware that, hey, if you don't get in at that $75 price point, then you're going to have to get in at the $100 price point, which for most people, I've gotten messages from people saying they're willing to pay upwards of $200 a month for the program. So it's very much still well worth it at that $100 price point, especially if you're spending, what was it we decided, guys? $750 to $1,000 a month on product is what we said to get the most value out of it. $500 is a decent value, but obviously, you know, not anywhere near as good as it could be. The more you spend, the better of a value. But yeah, that's kind of where we are with it. If I order something from distro, do you think it'll get here before the 17th? Depends which distro. If you order from distro 1, distro 3, distro 4, the answer is yes. If you answer from distro 2, that is up in the air. That is hard to say. So we've streamlined the system with distro 2, so it's things are now faster, but at the same time, there are variables with distro 2 that, as explained, since it is only being able to be shipped to the storefront, that are out of my control, which is why you tend to have a lot better of a service when it comes to the other 3 distros, just based on the fact that they ship directly to me and I can control the shipment process. But Gabriel says, I'd love to hear your opinion on reverse hull stamps, PSA 10 cards, 2004-2007 era, like EXDox's Fire Red, Leaf Green sets, and so on. I'm a huge fan of them. I think they're drastically underrated. I know some of the cards for the high demand like Pokemon, like Snorlax, Pikachu, stuff like that, obviously is extremely expensive, but I think there's a lot of general just reverse hollows with the stamps that I absolutely love the design, love the artwork, and I think they're gorgeous. So I think it's really cool. I haven't looked recently in prices, so we might have to do a little bit of a deep dive on this later. And kind of take a look and see how prices are. But you know, last time I did look not too long ago, like a couple months ago, which in theory in the Pokemon world, it is a long time. But yeah, no, it was still a value, I would say. But Don says, "What up, Eli? What's up, Don? Good to see you, brother." Andrew, always good to see you as well. Trainer Yang. Don, I'm up in the air about 151. I'm leaning towards being interested because the set is much larger than the typical bonus set. I honestly couldn't say where my stance is on it. The idea of a set being called 151 gives me optimism that it's going to be a good set, just based on the fact that you think, you know, first gen. And I know some people are going to be like, oh, watch this be like another Pokemon Go set. I highly doubt that, guys. I highly, highly doubt this is going to be another Pokemon Go set. So I'm optimistic for it to be a good set. I mean, you're going to have one of two feelings, right? You're either going to have a, oh, brother, here we go again, another reprint of Charizard feeling, but I'm still going to pick it up because it's a Charizard. Or you're going to have, wow, this is a really nice twist that they did, similar to Evolutions when that came out, but with modern day arts and products. I could see that being either one of two sentiments. Either way, in both sentiments, the set itself does well. However, one, it's going to obviously perform much better because it's not just another cash grab, which is ironic because speaking of cash grabs, reprint Evolving Skies already. Some stress testing for the wholesale tier in a sense. Yes, exactly, Trinell. Some stress testing. Coolest Shibe. Hey everyone, what is up, Coolest Shibe? Good to see you, Armando. I wish the Costco mini tins would bundle. A bundle would go on sale. Thinking about Evo Skies, lol. Hey, Northwoods, congratulations, Northwood. Heard you hit 3K not too long ago, so shout out to you on that one. Not much, just driving between jobs and thought I would stop and say hi. Well, always appreciate you stopping by, brother. Go check out Northwood's channel if you have not. Jim R says, is it just for TCGs like MTG and Pokemon, or will it include full catalogs like board games and such? Yes, it will include full catalogs such as board games and such, Jim. However, you're going to have to buy them at minimum quantities. So with distributors, they have certain minimums that you have to achieve. So if, for example, you're like, let me go to one of my distributor pages. I won't tell you exactly. I'll tell you what the prices are. I can't tell you what the name of the distributor is, but I'll go and try and see if I can give an example, right? Okay, so Pokemon, shocker, is the filter, but so if I go to products, they have board games, they have board game accessories, they've got books and novels. So of the board games, they've got 4,455 board games that you can pick from. In terms of pricing, you can pick them up by case quantity, but obviously it makes the most sense when you look at it from a shipping perspective to pick it up on what makes the most logistical sense. With this distributor I'm looking at in particular, it's $500 plus minimum to get the most value out of the shipping cost, which is like $7.50. If you spend over $500, I think is how much it is. But yes, and then if I look at in stock only, it cuts that in half to 2,250 in terms of the board games. But yeah, there is a ton of different board games to choose from here. So if you are interested in that, but yeah, outside of that, board games, it includes like accessories such as, you know, dice, such as things for Dungeons and Dragons. It includes, obviously, you know, magazines and comics. You can have access to some of those products, but it's not really anything special with those. It's usually like Meeple's Monthly or some other crap. But obviously, for most people in the program, they're like, I just want, you know, Pokemon or Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh or whatever. But we try and focus mainly on Pokemon product because it just makes things much easier from a shipping perspective. However, we will be getting pre-orders for Lorcana, hopefully sooner than later. The set, obviously Lorcana coming out in August. I'm really excited for Lorcana. I think that's going to be super hype. I actually will add that to the allocation sheet. I know on the allocation sheet I don't have Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh just because it's so much more to add. But with Lorcana being a new set and with it being high demand, I will actually add that to the sheet for like visual, because most of the time you have to message me if you want to know specific prices on Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh product. But Lorcana, I'll let it be known what is available and what everyone's going to be able to get. Because I think it's going to be awesome. I think it's going to be sick. All right, where are we? Are we? My local Harris Teeter just restocked Evolving Skies sleeve boosters for the 3rd time this last month. Dang, dude, that's sick. Thoughts on 151 and what it will hold for us? Evolution-esque, Celebrations-esque, or a new set with Kanto? I think, if I'm being honest, I am totally shot in the dark here. I think it's going to be the like regular cards, right? So like the commons and uncommons, I think all of those cards are going to be character rares. I think that you're going to have a base of like the commons are going to be like yellow borders, the uncommons are going to be black borders, and the holographics are going to be alternate arts. of some design. That's kind of where my mind is. That just makes the most sense to me. Obviously for trainers are going to be, full arts in this hypothetical, sense, but that's just kind of where I am with that. If we go back and look on what we know so far, God, I hate that they just have an ad just directly in the middle. That is annoying, but that's what you're paying for. And these articles is them to pop you with an insane amount of ads. But where is 151 article? Where's the 151 article? Let's take a look at it. Some new Japanese sets that got revealed. Man, it's been a while since 151 was revealed. I didn't realize how long ago. Am I tripping? It was not this long ago. Yeah, I think I must have passed it. It's hard to say because this thing is taking up the entire screen. It was sometime middle of February, was it not, ladies and gentlemen? Am I tripping? Why can't I find the article? Pokemon 151 set. I feel like I just looked this up in Pokebudget. Yep, of course. I could have just done this the entire time. Okay, so here's what we know so far. This set will feature 165 cards before secret rares. That's before secret rares. Do you consider to have character rares be considered secret rares? I don't think they're considered secret rares. But yeah, that's kind of what we know so far, obviously. Looking to buy some V-Striker tins. What are the chances Target Online having EV Brilliant image shows battle styles? So here's what I know so far. From what I have done research on, Barnes & Nobles has 5 Brilliant Star Packs, is what we know. In terms of in-store, it appears as if Target, Walmart, and Costco do have Evolving and Brilliant. However, if you're buying online from those big box retailers, please make sure you're buying it from Target and not from a reseller, because obviously then it guarantees it as being a lot less likely of a chance of it being the Evolving Skies Brilliant Star. That's kind of what my take is on that. Wonder if this is how we're going to get reprints in random grocery stores, restocks, or random collection boxes, tins like Cosmic ran. Wouldn't surprise me, man. Do you feel like 151 could be a Zenith 2.0? I would definitely not compare it as a Zenith 2.0, because with Zenith, I look at it as more of a diverse set than I do 151. I look at it as more of an Evolutions 2.0. Are you excited for Scarlet and Violet? Optimistic about the outcome of their products? Overall thoughts on the first products from any set? I'm very, very excited for Scarlet and Violet. Not only am I excited because there's going to be a ton of hype centered around it having silver borders, a ton of hype around the fact that we're now getting 2 reverse holos and a holo guaranteed every pack. But also there's a ton of hype around the fact that this is the first time we've ever had a set that actually is going to be a base set that has actual decent artworks. Because you guys remember, what did we have for the base set of Sun and Moon? It was just rainbow cards. That was about as good as it got. What about for Sword and Shield base set? Just rainbow cards, gold cards, good as it gets. What about for EX era? Just full arts, that's as good as it gets. Nothing really crazy, right? But what are we going to get for this base set? We're going to get crystal Pokemon, or trash-stylized Pokemon. We're going to be getting gold Pokemon. We're not going to be getting rainbow Pokemon. Let's go, frick rainbows. We're going to get alternate arts. We're going to get character rares. So there's just a lot vaster variety of art designs for this set. And for that reason, I think that it's going to be one of the best base sets we've had in a very long time. Arguably one of the best base sets, or the best base set of all time. So obviously everyone's like, well, what about base set first edition, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that is a victim of time. So Obviously, it is the OG set, and it's in a completely different tier of its own, but in terms of art design, of course, the art designs are just going to get progressively better in theory as time goes on, so you can't really compare it. It's like apples to oranges with that, but I feel like you can easily make a comparison for just about any other set going back to the EX era and look at those base sets. Because God, as someone who's a huge Diamond and Pearl fan, Diamond and Pearl base set sucked, but still very nostalgic to me, so I love it. But if you look at it going back on it, you're like, dang, that sucks. No problem, Northwoods. Digi says, finally been not too busy to catch a live, but saying that I need to check restock, so be back in 30. But I'll stay for the viewer count. Appreciate you, Dizzy. Or Digi. Dizzy. Raz says, Eli, how's your collection doing? Do you still collect? Okay, so I still collect. However, my collecting has slowed down most recently just because I'm so focused on the business. I will be doing some more collection things. Okay, so here's a really exciting series that we're going to be implementing relatively soon. And this is going to be either a Market Monday is what we're kind of talking. I think it's going to be like a Monday series that we're going to do. So with the bot that we're using, there is obviously going to be a, I don't want to say this. It's going to, in my opinion, when we start using the bot for ultra modern product, I think it's going to change the game in how we look at investments. Because what it's going to do is it's going to allow us to look at the cards that have the best spread and then see those cards having an amazing opportunity for potentially making a flip on it, right? And so for that reason, I am going to be coming up with a series once we start to modernize the bot, which recently we're going to start adding Silver Tempest. So we've got Jungle, we've got Jungle as one of the sets. We've got base set, but we're going to be adding Silver Tempest. We're going to start off with only the full art trainers and the rainbows and the alternate arts. We will progressively add more and more commands, but right now we're going to be trying to focus on just those kinds, and I wish we could add golds. We were only able to add like the Lugia gold, but we're trying out the first 25 cards from the set that we wanted to really like kind of dissect. And so what the Market Monday videos are going to be is it's basically going to be me doing a dissecting of either a set I like or a top amount of cards that I like in the general market using the bot. And so literally the video is going to be me showing how to use the bot, showing where I got these numbers from, why I like these cards, and then what I'm going to do with that is I'm then going to purchase those cards, and then we're going to do submission videos with those cards. So I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. I'm going to look at these cards, say, hey, look, these are the best opportunities. Then we're going to go on a TCG player, buy those cards, prove that there is a high chance you're going to get at least a 9 or a 10, and we're going to go through the motions and test out that theory. And then I'm going to go through the process of selling those cards and making a profit off of it. So more or less, it's going to be a data collection video to see how successful the actual bot is in predicting the rate of return for a lot of these products, as well as data collection for my videos and being able to test and see what the actual success rate is of buying TCG player cards and hitting 9s and 10s when trying to get a true return on cards with really good spread. So I'm extremely excited for this series. We're still about a month or two away, I want to say, before we start this. It just really comes down to adding some more of the ultra modern sets. But once we have at least 3 or 4 of the ultra modern sets in with the majority of cards that are in the ultra rare slot, I think then I'll feel comfortable enough to start that series and kind of take a deep dive on it. But who knows, maybe I'll start sooner than later because I just see a lot of opportunity and I don't want to miss out on it, and we'll record it. But it'll be a good way for me to either add to my collection because I'll be getting 10s or 9s in a lot of cards that I like from ultra modern. You guys know I'm a huge fan of the Aerodactyl artwork, or as I like to pronounce it, Aerodactyl, until people made me self-conscious, because that's obviously not the correct way to pronounce it. But yeah, so in terms of collecting outside of that, I have a ton of cards I want to send into PSA that I want, but I'm not there yet. I haven't had the time to do so. I should honestly take care of it recently because things are starting to slow down in the market. So I've started to have a little bit more free time on my hands, and so I'm thinking about sending them in, and it doesn't really take that long of time, only just a couple of hours to really go through prep for sending it in. For hidden potential tins, you mentioned, are we just talking about the Rotom artwork or all three? All three wave 1. Trinell, Eli, I'm thinking Onyx CR with Brock would be dope. That would be sick. That would be awesome if they did and do trainers. We really haven't seen Ash much, man. We haven't seen like Ash at all in card designs. We've seen Red a lot, but I mean, other than Ash's Greninja, to my knowledge, we haven't really had anything. What's up, Catchem? Good to see you as always, brother. The Kadabra thumbnail. Hey, we're getting Kadabra, baby. How we doing? We're doing all right. I think I may be getting sick again. I'm not gonna put that out there, but I had slept horribly last night. But we're here. We are here. I mean, I don't feel that terrible. Don't feel like tip-top shape, but I don't feel 100%. I feel like 80%. But how about yourself? Joshua says, yo. What is up, Joshua? Good to see you, my guy. Northwood says February 27th. Oh, is that when... oh, wow, this was posted in January. Did someone at him? Am I silly? Is there something I'm missing here? Would a Celebrations ETB case be worth it right now? Well, in theory, Celebrations is a set that's more than likely not going to get a reprint, like highly unlikely. So if you're trying to pick up Celebrations for a long-term play, or you're trying to pick it up to add to your collection, yeah, I mean, now is a better time than ever because it's more than likely just going to keep going up unless all of a sudden we just have a huge market correction. Don't forget to like the video again, everyone. I agree, Necro. Jim R, for your store, do you display packs and boxes or booster dispensers? Booster dispensers. And if so, what dispensers do you use? I've heard mixed feelings on them as it saves space, but you lose the cool boxes on the shelf. So actually, we do both. We do both. So we do booster boxes because it's just cool to keep them in booster boxes. But there's been such a shortage of booster boxes that we've had to grab product elsewhere. And so if we ever get loose packs, then we like to put them in the booster dispensers because we just don't want to give off the impression that these came from booster boxes because that's deceiving and we're not about that. So which dispensers do we use? I don't know in particular. I'd have to talk to my business partner about that. But to my knowledge, it's just the like kind of standard dispenser that most people use when you go to a storefront. But yeah, people seem to, like it. I mean, there hasn't been really any criticism about using it. But Gabriel Terman says there's some Japanese promos with Ash's Pikachu and other characters for Diamond and Pearl era, I believe. Yeah, it's a level X Ash's Pikachu. That is, yeah, from the Diamond and Pearl era. What is up, Eli? Finally made it to another live. Been busy lately. Well, good to see you, Pokemart TCG. Good to see you, brother. But yeah, no. So, like I said before, I made this announcement earlier when we just were starting things off. I'll make this announcement again, just for you guys that are now filtering on in. I will be, today's the announcement. I will be going live with the wholesale program tomorrow at 12 or 11 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We'll be going with another 50 slots. No notification, Poké Department Store says. What do you mean no notification? Let me see. Did I get an email notification? I did get an email notification. I not only got a notification in email, but I got it in Discord. You're freaking slacking, dude. Any chances we see V-Star Universe drop under 80 in the near future? It is a standard for 90 to 100 a Japanese box. It's hard to say. You know how it is with the Japanese market. They're a lot more reluctant to do reprints for product. I don't think there has been a decent sized reprint with V-Star Universe like there was when we saw VMAX Climax and EV Heroes, which obviously, it made an effect on the market, but the question is that going to happen? It's hard to say, man. An alt art or Ho-Oh in the sky from the first episode with Ash looking up would be so crazy cool. Man, I wish they used Ho-Oh more. There's so many missed opportunities. The fact of the matter that they did a Lugia alternate art and not a Ho-Oh alternate art is crazy to me. The fact that they didn't do a Darkrai V alternate art for Astral Radiance is crazy to me. There's a lot of cards I feel like have missed opportunities for alternate arts, and it's really frustrating. Like, sure, it's cool to see. Obviously, they did the Darkrai V-Star alternate art. I mean, like I said before, it wasn't shocking to see that they've done what they've always done, which is gone back and looked at sets that didn't have alternate arts and gave them alternate arts designs, but, you know, there were still some that were definitely missed. Also change the name up on you so in case it slips through, not as awkward. Hey, I appreciate that. I appreciate you. Daddy's art is a lot more PC, so I appreciate that. Just changed one H. Do you think they should make an Ash Pokemon TCG card for Pokemon 151? No question about it. I would love to see that. That would be sick. That'd be a sick card to see. What's up, Shadowless Tony? Good to see you, brother. Wrath says, I'll give it a shout out to our champions and being a huge bang with the set. It didn't tell me it was going live. What the heck, man? Did you say 11 MST earlier? No, I said 11 PST, 12 MST. So a lot of people don't know Mountain Standard Time, so I figured I would just say PST to make it easy for everyone. But also, if you want to be a business using Eli's distributor, get an accountant. I know a guy, and that guy's Pokemon department store. Shameless plug, he says. But yeah, that's when it's going to be dropping. I will make an announcement about it as well today on Discord, and I will make an announcement about it today on YouTube as well. So that will be the general plan, and we will kind of just see how it does. I expect it to sell out pretty quickly, so who knows? I could be wrong. Imagine if the big chase card in 151 is Ash with his OG team from anime. Pika Pika, Zard, Kingler, all of them chilling under a tree in Palatown. That would be sick. They've definitely, like, really haven't even touched the surface when you think about it from an art design perspective. What's up, Jim R? Good to see you, brother. Pokemon says, I went to a card show in Woodbridge, New Jersey. Sunday, they were talking about Evolving Skies was done. No more reprints. Meanwhile, I've been finding a bunch of Evolving Skies at supermarkets. Well, so here's what my theory is. And this is like really starting to add up now. If you look at a lot of the product that's been being pumped out recently, it has been filled with Evolving Skies. I think the Pokemon company is aware of the situation and they're trying to appease the market right now and seeing what is going to happen if they just start throwing Evolving Skies and everything. And right now, obviously, it has affected the singles market. Obviously, booster boxes are not doing absolutely jack crap in terms of, you know, going down because they haven't been printed. But singles are definitely taking a hit. You can see it on the charts. Now, does the Pokemon company see this as oh, we really just care about the cards. We don't really care about the booster box prices. That's what matters more to us as kind of what they're looking to test? Or are they doing this more an appeasement because everyone's dying for booster boxes and this is them just giving us what we want in the meantime before they do a reprint? It's one or the other. No clue yet where we are with that, but it is kind of random that you would also say, really, V-Striker tins? Like, you're just happen to do reprints of V-Striker tins? But I mean, it seems like tins are an easy way for them to just throw packs in it. I guess. I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. Roma Sheets. Yo, 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 he says. Good to see you as always, brother. Fitness with Jimmy's. Japanese Ash versus Team Rocket box. Sun and Moon Satoshi Rocket. Retail $20 has gone on eBay for $300. Dang, that's crazy. What other anime characters do you think they should bring to TCG? You know, I mean, if we're talking 151, obviously, expectations, it's going to be the originals, you know, Misty, Brock, Professor Oak. But I mean, in terms of what they should do more often, I guess is the question. It's really hard to say. I think Ash is just kind of the main one for me personally that I look at and say, wow, they don't really have a ton of him. Because most generations have, I mean, you've seen multiple Brocks, you've seen multiple Misties. I mean, think about it. The last Misty card we got was in Astral Radiance. It's been a while since we've done a Brock card to my knowledge, but even then it's like they do full art trainers of Pokemon all the time. Pokemon trainers all the time. I mean, we had a Roxanne one most recently. I broke down a 2022 trainer toolkit every time. There's $44 in value, 1 pack Evolving Skies in that box. So, did you break that down most recently, Black and Blue Fins? Because I would be interested to see if that's entirely true as it stands right now. Because I know value when the 2022 came out for a lot of the cards kind of dumped. But yeah, no, trainer toolkits, there's definitely a value to be had there. They can get rid of their more average performing sets if they combine it with Evolving Skies. See, but that's the thing, Roma, is 100% agree with you on that. But a Brilliant Star is not an average performing set, you know? And if you look at the reprints for the Spring Collector's chests, what did they come with? Evolving Skies, Brilliant Star, Fusion Strike. Okay, Fusion Strike, they're throwing it in, but Brilliant Star with it, right? That kind of doesn't make sense, you know? I might have missed it, but did you mention pricing on the 50 new spots? Catch them all says. So, I'll make the announcement. Tomorrow, we are going to be adding 50 new spots to the wholesale program. It's going to go live at 11 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. How we're going to do it is we're going to have 25 slots at $75 and another 25 slots at $100. That is the plan. So the idea more or less is that if you are in the $50 slot currently, it will stay at the $50 slot. We are not going to raise prices. It is going to be, you know, it's just more or less thank you for helping the program be successful. So we're going to, you know, keep you guys as at that legacy price. Same concept is going to apply. When the 75 sells out, then obviously next best option is the $100. And when the $100 sells out and we decide to scale and add more slots, then obviously the price is going to go to $125 when we add another group of more slots, and so on and so forth, until we get to kind of a cap out point where we think this is what makes the most sense financially for the program. But that is the plan. I will be dropping both the slots for for $75 and $100 at the same time. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it's sold out extremely fast. That's the expectation, because I get messages all the time saying people are willing to spend upwards of $200 for the program. I've seen emails saying I'll pay $125, I'll pay $150, $175, $200. I'll do things for you. Like, I've heard a lot. Team Rocket Returns Part 2 90s art style would be delicious. I would love that. Team Rocket was one of my favorite sets. I love Team Rocket. Game Freak does not like Ash. Agree. Officer Jenny. Hey, that's a great one. That's a great one, Trinell. I never really thought of Officer Jenny with a Growlithe. That, man, is there really not an Officer Jenny card? There has to be one, right? I mean, heck, man, there's been a lot of Growlithes. But is there an Officer Jenny one? No, just a Blaine. Just a Blaine. Man, that's a good one to point out. Did you have loads of extra time with the Friday videos? Did you run a marathon? I did not run a marathon. I was out of town for a wedding. So I just actually got back literally yesterday from a wedding. So that's what I did for Friday. I got ready for the wedding. Zard says, oh yeah, definitely a good pairing, adding Brilliant meant for future boxes. They did with Cosmic. Just keep packs aside for the next years. Black and Blue Fins got him for the 75 spot. Fitness with Coach Zims. Can we get a last deal before the new wholesale member joins? LOL. Can we get a last deal before the new wholesale member joins? What do you mean by that? Oh, I see what you mean, Jimenez. Yeah, so for those that are in the $50 slot for the wholesale program, I will be, before we go live with that, I will be doing pre-orders later today for some of those V-Striker tins, so you guys will get opportunity to order those before we go live with it. So, because obviously it's going to become extremely competitive as soon as we get those 50 more slots. So I want to give you guys an opportunity to get in one last order of a case of those before, obviously, it becomes more of a free-for-all up until we get a large drop of product. Because here's the deal, man. I talked to my sales rep. He's told me that with our current spend that we've been doing so far, we basically pick up anything and everything that's available. And so at this moment in time, the expectation is that for 151 and sets going on in the future, we're just going to progressively get more and more booster boxes. So in theory, as we scale this program, we should get more supply to add more people to the program. We obviously just have to keep accumulating more spend and continuously making sure that we're just putting in bigger and bigger orders each time, which with more people, it should do that. So obviously the product just needs to be available for that spend to go up. I'd let him cut my lawn for 10 years for a spot. I cook your meals, give you massages, edit your videos. Dang, guys, you guys are going crazy here. They want to do things for you, Rathazapto says. Officer Jenny is also an anime character, same story as Ash. Oh yeah, no, of course. I grew up watching the anime, so I totally know Officer Jenny. I'll devote my life to Pokemon department store. Hey, what's up, Pika Pika? Good to see you as always, brother. Poke Collector J, it's Eli. Well, good to see you as always, Collector J. Shout out to you as per usual, and shout out to Pika Pika as well. The OGs. Imagine they reveal Ash's father on a Pokemon card. Imagine they reveal my father on a Pokemon card from Gen 3. You guys remember that? Gabriel Turnman, having trouble figuring out, got a good deal of 17107 Deoxys reverse stamps, hollow PSA 10. What was your ballpark price opinion be around it? Well, if I'm being honest, Gabriel, rather than me giving you my opinion on the price, I'm just going to give you my opinion on the strategy. When I'm looking for cards like that, all I do is I literally look at TCG Player and eBay market price and compare it to what the actual... Oh, wait a second. You said hollow PSA 10. I'm having trouble finding out if I got a good deal on the 17107 reverse stamp hollow PSA 10. Okay, well, then at that point, it would basically be me just going on eBay and just looking at the prices. So first and foremost, we need to know what you spent for it, Gabriel. So that's the most important thing. But if we go take a look and see what the value is of that card, I'm presuming that you're asking me this question because there isn't really a history of it. Well, we see that most recently there was a bid on the 19th for $700. I don't know what the population report is, so I don't know if that's a value or not. Let's see if we can go to PSA and we can see if there's a low amount of it. Pop report. So the population report for the Deoxys. That ain't right. Do we gotta go farther on the page? Yep, there we go. 107. Okay, this is not right. This is not right for some reason. Is it a promo or what set is this from? I don't know what sets this from. It's from EX Deoxys. Oh, it's 17 of 107. Ah. Makes more sense now. Why I couldn't find it, because I was being a goober. I get it now. So if we go look at 17 of 107, and we have the reverse hollow, the population in a 10 is 20. So obviously very much a low pop. Do I think it's worth $700? I don't know if I can say that. I would say it's probably closer, in my opinion, to around that $500 mark. Where I'm getting that number from is I'm looking at the general comparison between the PSA 9 condition. And if you look at the condition, obviously there's 55. This doesn't really matter that much, to be quite frank with you. But you look at the general sales. I think that's more important when looking at the history of it. And saying to myself that it's about 5 times greater value, I think that makes more sense, right? And it's hard because it's all in the belief of whatever the seller and the buyer agree upon. Ultimately, at the end of the day, there's not like any like hard, fast way of looking at what's truly fair or not. Because like a perfect example of really knowing if this is fair or not is, let's go take a look at Diamond and Pearl. One of my favorite ones to look at is Torterra Level X, because obviously we've had conversations about this card in the past when looking at the value of the 9 versus the 10, especially since the 9 in recent memory was going down. If we take a look and compare the two, the value of the 9 most recently sold for $118, $147 before that. And then the 10 sold for $662, $625. That's about a 5x return roughly. So it kind of lines up with that when looking at most general differences in 9s and 10s. But that, I mean, that's literally just an example there, because you look at the difference between a 9 Charizard versus a 10 Charizard from base set first ed, then obviously it's completely different, right? You look at Ultra Modern product, it's not a 5x return, it's a 2x return, a 3x return. So it's so like, it's really hard to pinpoint it, but I like to compare it more closely to the EX Level X era, because those eras are closely tied, especially when looking at the pop reports between the two. So that's kind of where I got that number from. But honestly, you could easily argue it one way or another. Okay, Eli, my order for V-Stars I'm placing on here on stream, Trinell says. That's so funny. I'll make sure to announce it later today. I was supposed to announce it last week, but you want to hear something awesome? My distributor accidentally sent it to the storefront, so I didn't get the product in time. So, and since I'm going to be announcing, or since we're going to go live with 50 more slots tomorrow, and it was supposed to arrive on Monday, that kind of sets us back a little bit. So I'm going to make sure that I get in time for you guys to order before we add the 50 more slots. And on top of that too, it probably still won't arrive to me for another day or two, but you guys will just have to kind of wait before I ship it out on the shipment times. Awesome, appreciate it. Yes, I was thinking about how competitive it might be now. Poke Collector, what's in the V-Striker tins? 3 Evolving Skies, 2 Brilliant Star. This is excellent, congratulations. Hey, I appreciate that, Lab. Under the program, what would be the case of Scarlet and Violet booster box cost you if you had a spot? Sorry if it doesn't work like that, just curious. So here's how it works, Roma. Whenever a new set comes out, distributors require us to put in pre-orders by a certain specific date. If you make the cutoff and you join the program before the pre-order date, then obviously you get access to the product. If we have any surplus to that product, then it doesn't matter as much. But for Scarlet and Violet, I highly doubt we're going to have any left, and we've already missed the pre-order point. So that's why I was saying I was thinking of more 151 for the new slots. As I mentioned earlier, though, the idea of doing this now than later, because I had a conversation with someone and he made some really good points when basically saying, in terms of the program, it makes more sense for us to have people in the program that are actually seeing the value of this. And so they're getting in now while there's not like a large reprint coming and we're still waiting for 151 pre-orders, because those are the people that understand the value, versus getting someone that's like, oh, there's a reprint, let me just hop in, get some Evolving Skies booster boxes at $86 or $95 or whatever the price is going to be, and then bouncing, right? Like, we don't want that. We want people that are serious about the program, that are coming back, and they're consistent buyers, because that's what's going to help everyone out the most. Because if you're someone that's just wanting the high demand product and you're not willing to take some lower demand product like ETBs, building battles, and so on and so forth, then obviously that's not going to help our spend overall. And as we progressively spend more money, then that's going to progressively increase our allocations with distributors, which then means more people get more product. So it's more of like a let's all work together type thing to get everyone more product overall. And you're rewarded for that with your spend as well. The more you spend, then obviously the more likely you're going to have a higher amount of allocations filled for your product. But in theory, if you're someone that spends $1,000 and then you put in $1,000 worth of product for a new set release, in theory you're going to have a high chance of, you know, getting that 1,000, because it's, you know, it's equationable. Equationable, is that a word? I don't know. But if you're someone that, you know, spends $1,000 but then is wanting $20,000 of booster boxes on a new set release, then obviously that's not like, it's just not realistic, right? But that's how the process goes. So 151 is going to be the next set we're going to have pre-orders for. I wouldn't be surprised if we got pre-orders sometime within the next couple of weeks. With that, you're going to put in your pre-orders on what you want for the specific product that you're going to have available, and then you're going to get filled on your order once the set gets closer to the release date. It's usually about 3 weeks in advance, which we should hopefully get Scarlet and Violet pre-order numbers in here soon. My distro told me that he would be getting some numbers in soon for me, so we'll kind of see what that ends up looking like. But Pokecollector J says, also, Eli, economics of scale, we discussed this, but nice to see it playing out with distros. Yeah, no, I mean, that's just kind of how it is. And obviously, like you discussed too, Pokecollector J, I didn't get the chance to respond because I was getting ready for this stream before I saw your message. But yeah, that's definitely a good idea too, in terms of, you know, if reprints were to kind of come out of nowhere and people were desperate to get in at that point. Eli, I know you know Jofster Any. I'm just saying that anime exclusive characters aren't reflected in the TCG basically ever. Brock, Misty, Blaine, etc. are all game characters. Oh, I see what you're saying, Lord Narwhal. Because I'm like looking at Brock, I'm like, what do you mean they're game characters? They're in the anime too. But also, if you really think about it, they're in both. But Misty is, or sorry, not Misty, but Officer Jenny, she's specifically just the anime. That makes a lot more sense, Lord Narwhal. Okay, thanks for the explanation on that. I like how you are talking. Catch 'em. Don says, Sharpedo, Greninja, for Alligator, haven't seen anything recently. Greninja has, Rating Greninja, other than Rating Greninja. Okay. I mean, I feel like we see a lot of Greninjas. But for Alligators, Sharpedos, not really, no. But I mean, you can say that about a lot of Pokemon too. Cam the Goat says hello. Hello, Cam the Goat. Zard says there should be another Latios card with Ash and Misty, and just confirm that they are. Greninja V Union. Yeah. Pika says, where did Pika say? With the booster box shortage, are you at the point now that you have to break down product for the packs for the LGS? Yep, 100%. That's exactly what we're doing. What price were wholesale members getting booster boxes and elite trainer boxes for with Scarlet and Violet? $95 to $95.50, I think, is what the price is right now. So previously for booster boxes, the prices were around $84 to $86, depending upon which distributor. But right now, it's around that $95-ish price point, give or take, depending upon distributor. Matthew says, Eli, I don't see the V Striker Tins on allocation page. Will you be dropping that later at some point? Yes, that will be dropped later today. Do you get fan mail? Wondering if it's worth doing a mail day video if you do, since not much new is happening nowadays. Just an idea. I do not get fan mail. I mean, I would have been stunned if I did get fan mail, because I am pretty, like, small. But to be fair, I also don't actively give out my address or, like, P.O. box it in my video. So that's something that I could do, is get a P.O. box for mail. But then I also say I'm very small. I don't think I would get that much mail, even if I did go buy a P.O. box for specifically that. You spent $580 after tax and shipping for the Yoxus. I would say that should be the appropriate market. That's what I would say is about right. It's entirely possible you could have paid closer to the 500 point, but honestly, I mean, not trying to be nitpicky with it, you still got a good price, I would say. I agree with vendors, as there is a ton of product out there in the mall to draw, or market to draw Evo packs from. Even if we do get reprints, it will affect the price of booster boxes supply would be purchased. Skylar, yo, what's up, Skylar? Good to see you, brother. Yo, Skylar. Trinell says, with the print of Ultra Modern, what do you think will be considered the new norm for low pop? Sub 1,000. Sub 1,000 will be the new norm for low pop. So, like, if you see a set that's got like 500 or 700 cards, you're like, whoa, that's kind of low pop. Pokemon Classic, like, my thoughts on, elaborate more. Are you talking about the new Classic, like, deck they're coming out with, or what do you mean by that? Trainer Mason, what's up, my guy? Good to see you, brother. Lab TCG says, how do you handle not getting pre-orders fulfilled? EXP, hypothetically, you pre-order 10K, get allocated 5K. Do you then allocate to the Patreon members, or is it first come, first serve? I allocate it. That's what I do. I want to make sure. So this is obviously, since the program is still relatively new, this will be our true first set with pre-orders. I've been thinking about how we're going to do it, but basically here's how I'm going to look at it. I'm going to look at everyone's overall spend and overall purchases, right? And I'm going to do whatever I think is the most fair in terms of how I'm going to do it, right? Just because you spend less than someone else doesn't necessarily mean that that's going to jip you out of product, right? Like, let's say I've got a guy that spends $10,000 on a monthly basis, which we do have someone that does that. And I've got someone that spends $1,000 on a monthly basis, right? Obviously, if both people were to say, we're going to each order $10,000 of Scarlet and Violet booster boxes, then obviously, if someone's spending $1,000 on a monthly basis and someone's spending $10,000, then that's only realistic for one person. However, if, let's say, that person that spends $10K on a monthly basis and the person that spends $1K on a monthly basis, and the person that spends $10K asks for $10K and the person that spends $1K asks for $1K, then it's going to be a very much equitable ratio in terms of that overall spend, right? And progressively, as you continue to buy more, then progressively I'm going to give you more in that same kind of, concept, more or less. So it's fair. Because that way, if you're someone that's like, hey, Eli, I spend $500 to $1,000, I'm going to order a case. Can I order a case, or I'm going to order 2 cases? Let's say hypothetically 50% allocations get cut, right? And you order 2 cases. Then I'm going to do what's most fair to give you a case minimum, or 3 booster boxes minimum, or whatever it is that kind of general ratio is. And it's going to just be whatever, like I said, I think is most fair, right? It's not going to be, oh, this big guy ordered 10,000, I'm going to fill him 100%. It's going to be, nope, we got cut 50%. I'm going to take everyone's allocations across the board. I'm going to cut it 50%. Or, for some people, it's going to be cut 40%, depending upon if they literally don't order anything except for Scarlet and Violet. They'll expect to get something, but it's just it's things I'm gonna have to kind of calculate and figure out. But that's kind of how I handle it in that regard. Honestly, it would be my dream if any printer started printing like Japanese cards. I feel like most of the raw market would be healthier for the hobby. Entirely possible. I mean, the printers are definitely terrible quality in the US. On that note, the program, how is the communication when the new slots open? How is that communicated when the new slots open? I will be announcing it. So I'm announcing this right now. It will be open live at 11 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So I'm just letting you know this right now. So I will be making this announcement on the Discord. I will making this announcement on the YouTube like announcements page, and so people will alternative to this get that announcement for other people to have an opportunity to take advantage of it. Obviously, I'm letting you guys know now first because I like talking about this with you guys on the live just to kind of get some feedback or just have that open discussion. So basically just be ready by 11 p.m. Pacific Standard Time when I drop it. So that is just the general plan. So I'm thinking I should say, and we're live. So I might just announce it on Discord and be like, and we're live, like, and just, you know, kind of link it. So I guess I could do that just to make life easier for everyone once it's officially up and ready to go. Not to mention grading companies are already shady as they're especially they're definitely a little shadiness to it. Roma looking to hop in. Poke Department says, what's up, Christian? Good to see you, brother. What's the price to ship a booster box case to Ontario? Do you price the shipment charge with the quantity of packages being sent? Ontario, Canada, I cannot tell you what the price is. I have absolutely no idea. So if we ship outside the US, we have a business that we work with specifically that gives discount rates up to 70% when shipping outside the US. However, all of the shipment process is done through them, and so they would be the ones to give you the exact quote. So it's hard for me to give you a price quote from them. Now, if you're talking inside the US, I can easily give you numbers on that quite a bit. Like for a case to ship in the US, then it's usually going to cost you anywhere for $8 to $12 to ship a case, depending upon where you live at this point, if I'm correct. Maybe upwards of $15, but I don't think so. I could be wrong though, for a case of booster boxes. Poke Department Store says, I'm going to send fan mail. I need to respond to your text message. Sorry I never got back to you. I was obviously out of town for the wedding. I literally just got back yesterday, so I haven't checked my text messages. Shocked you don't get fan mail. When I don't put my mailing address, that makes sense why. I'm gonna send you a king cake next year. Hey, I will take that, baby. Who wants to make a cake for our wedding? How about that? Any of you guys want to make a wedding cake? Any of you guys in the area or in the Oregon area? That's where it would be. We would make the cake would be made in Oregon. So we're gonna need one of those. Guys, hit the like button and send the fan mail for a shout out. Lab, I've been toying with doing basically the same thing you're doing. I just couldn't get over the allocation part and not have people get stuff fulfilled. Super cool. It's working for you. Well, obviously, Lab, there's a lot that goes into it for me personally with the program. I mean, the amount of time and energy I put into it is exhausting, but I make it work. I get creative. I have a lot of help from the community members that have made my life so much easier and so much more efficient. So I wouldn't be able to do without them by far. So, but I understand allocations, but as you guys are very much aware, I'm very open and honest about everything. So when it comes to, you know, the reality of the situation, I'm very transparent. I'm not hiding anything. This is the prices. This is how you get in. This is why I'm doing it this way. I do it that way because then people don't feel like they're in the dark. And so if I say, hey guys, here's what I got for allocation numbers, if you got less than expected, this is why, then people are going to understand, right? And then I'm going to explain to them why they got cut, whether it be because there was less product this time around, or whether it be because we're a newer account and so we're not going to get allocated as much, but in the future we'll get more. Like whatever the reason is, I'm going to be open and honest, and people are going to understand and stay in the program because the value is still there, or people are going to be like, that's a bummer. I don't like this. I'm going to leave. And then the slot's going to get filled because it's just always filled, right? And I'm not saying that to seem like, oh, like it's not going to get filled, therefore, or it's always going to get filled, therefore, you know, I don't care that people leave, because I always get, you know, sad when people leave because, you know, I care about my customers. I try and do my best to be, you know, most customer care friendly as I can and helpful as I can. But obviously at the end of the day, if it comes to a point where you don't like the way the program's run, it sucks. I'm sorry. I do whatever I can, but I'm just going to be open and honest, and if you like it and you agree and you work with what I can offer, then awesome, you'll stick around. But if not, then it's, you know, it's a bummer. I hate to see you go, but someone else will then join, understanding how it is, because I'm not hiding anything, right? Uh, Average player says, where did it go? Every time I like scroll down, it like sometimes every time I scroll down the chat, it like jumps me to most recent, so I have to scroll back up. Eli, how do I max my credit card buying PSA 10 baby shinies? I used my mortgage money on buying Steam seasons last time, and now the bank won't let me more money. So I have this really good idea, average player. Let's see, where do you live again? Ooh, you don't live in the States. That's kind of a tough one. So I would go get a knife. Guns are preferred. It's a lot easier to get those in the US. But anyway, you get some sort of a weapon of choice, right? And you go to that bank and you rob them. That's what I would say, honestly, average player. Financial advice. I am a financial advisor. Robbing banks is an effective method to getting more money when the bank won't let you more money. Because then, like, what's a better way to get money from the bank than by, like, putting them at gunpoint? Like, they can't say no, right? What, are they gonna die? Idiots. Like, no. So, you know, you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Bank robbery is the new play if you're maxing out your credit cards on Pokemon money. It's just the next best solution, you know? And you guys watch Family Guy and seen that episode where they're like, how does Peter afford to pay for all these things? And it shows him robbing the bank with his daughter Meg. Oh, it's so funny. Will you be offering it as a loose packs or include the tins? It will include the tins. So I thought about breaking it down for the packs, but I did the math and it's maybe gonna save like $2 a case. So it's not really a big saving difference, because how you have to look at it when I do shipments is if it's under a pound, then obviously like there's like certain thresholds, like over 50 pounds, under 50 pounds, there's a huge difference in price. Over a pound, under a pound, huge difference in price. But once it hits over a pound, the difference between a pound to 3 pounds or a pound to 5 pounds is not that big of a difference, right? Now the difference between 10 pounds to 20 pounds, there's a decent size difference depending upon the size of the box itself, where it's being shipped to, blah, blah. But when I am shipping you guys the V-Striker tins, right, which you're going to have 30 packs in total for a case, 30 packs, whether I break them down or not, it's going to weigh over a pound. And so for that reason, the difference between a pound or 2 pounds, it's not going to make that much of a difference. So I'm just going to ship it to you guys in a sealed case, which for some people, they're like, great, I get the promos. And for some other people, if you're like, oh, I wanted to save $2 shipping, it's just not sadly worth it for me because of the amount of time it takes me to break down all the tins. But let's go. Thank you. Now I can use my inheritance on buying Chinese battle styles. Hey, that's not a bad play. Can I read your income statement? I don't even know where my income statement is. For this year, I don't have an income statement yet. I still haven't generated it. If I generate it, then you can read it. Once I am done with my taxes, you can 100% look at it. Pokemon USA, Alex says, if you were to build a Pokemon index fund, what percentage of allocations would go towards sealed products, slabs, and singles? Great question. Wow, an actual index fund for Pokemon. I think that's a really cool concept. I would love to do something like that in the future. 70% by far is going to sealed product. By far. 70% is going sealed product. And then the remaining 30% is going slabs and singles. I would say probably 20% to 25% slabs, another 10 to 5% singles. That makes the most sense. Yeah, that's just kind of it, man. Because for me, long term, I look at more sealed, and for short term, I look at more singles because you can just flip so much easier because of PSA, right? And obviously you can make money with singles, but if you look at the rate of return, if you had invested in the Moonbryon versus you invested in the Evolving Skies booster box when they were both at their low, it's not even a debate. The booster box did way better. No, not today, Roma. God, no, not today. Tomorrow. Tomorrow is when it's going to be released. I'm looking to hop in, but I'll be fast asleep at 11 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm Eastern Time. Why will you'll be fast asleep at 4 p.m. Wait, 4 p.m. You'll be fast asleep at 2 p.m.? Oh my god, did I say 11 p.m.? No way I said 11 p.m. I meant a.m. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. 11 p.m., idiot. No, 11 a.m. 11 a.m. 11 a.m. Holy crap. I've been saying p.m. this entire time. Yeah, I want everyone to stay up till midnight. Why would I do that? That's so silly. No, okay. Holy crap, so sorry. You'll see this in the announcement. It's 11 a.m. I promise it's 11 a.m. It's not 11 p.m. Oh my god. I'm like, all right, if you live in the East Coast, best of luck to you. I hope you're up at 2 a.m. No, 11 a.m. I'm like, why are you asleep in the afternoon? And then I was like, it kind of hit me. Oh crap. Gosh dang it. I haven't had any food today and I feel like it's finally affecting me. God, I am so hungry right now. It's crazy how much I feel it. No, not 11 p.m. If I order a booster box and allocations get cut in half, will you say my box is half? So I will give you just an empty box. How about that instead, Pika? No, I'm just kidding. I can't tell if that's a serious question or not, but if you order a box, I will give you a box. Yeah, if allocations get cut, I will give you a box, right? Hypothetically, right? If we're saying 50% scenario, right? If you order a case, allocations get cut, I'll probably give you anywhere between 3 to a case, depending upon the situation, right? 3 booster boxes to a case. If you order 1 booster box, then I'll give you 1. But most recently, we've made it a rule to where, just to make things easier for everyone, we try and have it be that you order a minimum of a case of product, just because it's easier for me to streamline ship that way, especially since I'm running everything by myself. Because then if I have to cut allocations, then like for the example you gave, I know, hey, what's half of 6? 3, right? Half of 1 is 1 or nothing, and I don't want to give people nothing. I want to give people something. And not to mention too as well, from a shipping perspective, dimensionally shipping out in a case, all I have to do is slap a label on, forward it, super easy. And if I cut it, I already have boxes that are pre-dimensioned to fit perfectly 3 booster boxes in it, so it just makes it easier that way. 2 a.m. Eastern is rough. Yes, I'm sorry. I messed up. Set your alarms, wake up, join. Man, I am really out here. Wedding cake ETB. Oh my god, if I made a Pokemon cake, Holly would be so mad at me. No worries, guys. I'm going to be doing 10 hours of taxes a day. Texts aren't that important. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. You're working 10 hours? You better be on hourly, not salary. Tom made a cake for the wedding. It would look pretty. Shoot me a wedding invite. I need to get across Oregon. I will. I'm not even kidding you. I will 100% invite you to the wedding, Poke Collector J. If you're being dead serious, dude, I will invite you. Also, we have a ton of amazing golf courses. So I would also go golfing with you if you wanted to. If you came for the wedding, I'm like being dead serious. I also live with my girlfriend. Don't think she'd appreciate a 2 a.m. alarm for Pokemon. Yeah, bring, 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 bring. Yeah, no, she would be pissed. Yeah, it's not 2 a.m. Sorry. It'd be 2 p.m. for you. Oh no, sorry, that wasn't meant for customers. I meant as a business. Like selling wholesale to patrons is something I've been thinking about. I just haven't figured out how to solve the allocation part, trying to make sure the end customers taken care of. Right, no, 100%. That's exactly what I explained, Lab TCG. I just obviously explained what I meant on the best way to do it. Me trying to keep allocations up, but having a lack of product to buy. I know, it's tough right now, my guy. Well, on the bright side, Wrath of Zapdos, obviously, you'll be getting your numbers for Scarlet and Violet soon, so that'll help out a ton with getting numbers up. And then also as well, getting the V-Striker tins will help. And then... don't want to spoil it, but we might... hold on, everyone, before you start spamming me with messages, please don't yet. We might be getting some ETBs of Crown Zenith in shortly. Calm down, everyone calm down. I know everyone's going to start freaking out and messaging me. I will make an announcement about how much I have and how much everyone can get and what that looks like. But my distributor told me, hey Eli, we may be getting some more in, so get your wallet ready for next week. In the middle of next week, meaning some point within the next couple of days, hopefully. Everyone calm down. I know people are going to immediately start spamming me. Eli, I heard on the stream, Crown Zenith. Like, I will message you. Trust me, I know. So I will let people know. But I'm doing my best to get as much product as I can. to everyone. But I mean, honestly, what most people are doing at this point to get their numbers up or their pricing up to make the value out of the program is they're spending it on Fusion Strike ETBs, Charizard Ultra Premium collections. But also, here's what I think too. Obviously, if you're running a business, you're constantly wanting to not be locked. You're constantly not wanting to be liquid, or you're constantly wanting to be liquid, but keep bankrolling your money, right? And growing that bankroll by consistently reinvesting. Holy crap, I'm having a stroke right now, guys. I'm sorry. But you know, if let's say you're saying to yourself, oh, I need to spend at least $800 on a monthly basis to feel like I get value, I don't think it's the worst thing if you're like, oh, this month there wasn't really anything of interest, but then next month you save that $800 from the previous month and you spend $1,600. Obviously it sucks because you're not growing that bankroll for the next month because you don't have product, but at least then you're still going to have the opportunity for, you know, a new set release every 3 months, right? Because we're going to get Scarlet and Violet, and then 151 is going to come after that, and we're probably going to get some product resupply in the future. So there's going to come a point where people are probably going to get fatigued with spend, or if you are a business owner and you are growing your business through the allocations list, where you're just going to kind of go crazy, right? But that's just kind of how I look at it. Because trust me, as someone who owns their own storefront, I know exactly what you're saying, and I know exactly what it feels like. And in these kind of lulls, it doesn't last that long. It usually ends up, at least historically speaking, because I'm not even kidding you. There's a point where Distro 2 always has product, always has product. There was a time where they had 0 product on the site for about 2 months. Like, it was insane. Like, I was like, what the frick, no product for 2 months? And then guess what ends up happening? Like, a month later, large product dump, and then they've been sitting on product forever. Obviously, right now, the product is becoming more scarce and scarce with them, but they still have product on their site available. And it has been like that for the past 2 years, so it lasted them a while. I mean, they had booster boxes at wholesale for the longest time, right? The longest time. Like, Chilling Reign, $86, Fusion Strike, $86, Evolving Skies, $90. Like, trust me, when it hits, you're gonna be like, holy crap. Dan Schick, what is up, Dan? James from the Alamo, what is up, brother? The funny thing is, the cybercrime is likely much more efficient. Most banks don't carry a lot of cash. All right, so what's the plan then, Solomon? How are we going? Okay, so we're not going to rob a bank, you said. We're going to commit fraud. Okay, so I hope you guys are taking notes, by the way. So committing fraud, what is the best way to do that? God. Oh, I have an idea. Go to retirement homes, right? Convince old people to give you their social security numbers. Big brain. That's what you do. So identity theft. There you go. That's a good one. Hey, you got that, average player. Identity theft. That's an idea. Problem. That's so messed up. It's like some Better Call Saul type stuff out here. Wait, can you repeat that? The sirens are a little too rowdy. Oh, that's so funny. Have you ever done a video going through your collection? I have not done a video going through my collection because it would be a short video. I mean, that's not necessarily true. I could make it a little bit of a longer video. I don't know. I get embarrassed showing my collection because, like, it's not a lot. Like, it has some items that are worth like $1,000 and there's like large quantities of it. So my collection's worth a decent amount of money, but like it would be quick because it's not like this $100,000 collection, right? Like my collection overall is probably worth like $20,000, $30,000, right? So it's not like a crazy collection. It's mainly a bunch of PSA 10s and PSA 9 cards from Diamond and Pearl era, some sealed products from the Diamond and Pearl era, some loose cards from the Diamond and Pearl era. Who would have guessed it? I'm a huge fan of the Diamond and Pearl era. Like, that's kind of what my collection would be. If you guys want to, I could totally do it. I just feel like there wouldn't be a big interest just because they would see my collection and just get extremely underwhelmed by what I have. I did a video where I showed my backstock inventory. I did that, and that was obviously worth like $70K in product at one point. LMAO, trade Pokemon future and derivatives. Start tracking material shipments and truck movements to Pokemon printers to gauge future prices. I mean, it would definitely be some. I think that is the future for Pokemon, honestly. That makes more sense. Yeah, I'll be on the lookout. Yes, sir. You said 11 p.m. 11 a.m. Repeat, 11 a.m. I promise. See, this is why I use 24-hour time. Yeah, military standard time. Yeah, it will be military standard time at 1100 hours. Pacific Standard. Chicken nugget time? I haven't done the chicken nugget thing in a while. Do you really want to see me get tortured like that again? Are we live? Oh, we are. Yes, sir. We are live, Roach. What's up? It's Roachin' time, baby. Roach time's his name. Young Playmaker, what is up? Eli, top 3 Sword and Shield sets that aren't Evolving Skies. Cheers. Let's see. That aren't Evolving Skies. Evolving Skies 2.0, Evolving Skies 3.0. Oh, wait, no, that's the same thing. Okay, so Brilliant Star, Crown Zenith, and investment or personal opinion, or that's the next question. Because Brilliant Star, Crown Zenith, easy. I would say Celebrations, honestly. I'm a huge Celebrations fan. But obviously, if we're talking investments, that changes things. But honestly, not really. I mean, I'm still a huge fan of Celebrations as a whole when it comes to the long term of the set. It's a good set. It's just not one that's fun to open, right? If you're talking about fun to open, overall experience, then that would change to Chilling Reign, I guess. I'm a huge Chilling Reign fan because it's fun to open Chilling Reign, right? Astral, not super fun. Lost Origin, I get wrecked because the pull rates are terrible. And Silver Tempest, I've had much better pull rate odds, but there's not really much that I'm excited about opening in. So Chilling Reign, there's a lot I get excited about getting, so... Eli, invites for Eli's wedding for all the patrons. That would be so funny. My fiance is like, why the frick do we have 500 people at our wedding? Well, you see, babe, so the patrons really grown quite a bit. And I gave everyone an invitation that was from the program. She's like, what? They better have gotten... They didn't even RSVP or anything. They better be on the registry. Everyone just gives me Pokemon gifts for the wedding. That'd be so funny. I just get booster boxes and elite trainer boxes and a bunch of singles. Holly's like, this does not work. Just hopping on. What's happening at 11 a.m.? We are opening up another 50 slots for the wholesale program tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. But was half joking, but honestly sounds dope going to enter negotiations with the wife. I mean, I'm serious about that. Like, when it comes to my life and the people that have made a big difference, whether it be in person or over the computer, I look at it the same way, man. So like one of the guys in the program, shout out to Dr. Abbas, him and I are homies. Him and I talk all the time online, and he lives in California. Well, I was just recently in California for a wedding, and we linked up and connected and hung out for like quite a bit while I was in town. So stuff like that, like I love doing that with people. I've met people when I was in Oregon. I've met people when I was in Arizona. If I ever travel to like Florida or another state and people message me and are like, hey, I heard, and like, let's like link up and hang out. Like if you're one of those people where I'm very friendly with you and we talk all the time, I have absolutely no problem hanging out, right? Because I genuinely like translate that friendship into real life. I don't look at it as, oh, you're just an online person. Like I don't see that, I don't see it that way, right? Like I look at it in a lot different of a way, and I'll probably do that until I get murdered by an axe killer who I met on the internet. But I don't know, man, that's just weird. It's just, let me put it for you this way. When I grew up playing video games as a kid, one of my best friends who I grew up playing with on Xbox, I knew for like 7 or 8 years, and then I took a trip to LA. That was where he lived, and him and I met for the first time in real life. And I got another buddy who also, him and I have been really good friends for 3 or 4 years. And I kid you not, I actually got him, like I convinced him and his whole family to move to Oregon. and I'm just some random guy that we played Xbox with together, and then he uprooted his life in Oregon because of me. Like, it's crazy, man. It's crazy how the internet like brings people together, and I love it. I think that's awesome, you know. So that's kind of how I look at it. Wrath says, please don't yet. Wedding invites are coming. It's not 11 a.m. He says 11 p.m. Catch them all. I was totally speaking wrong. It is 11 a.m. It is not 11 p.m. I promise you, it is 11 a.m. CZ ETBs, take my money now. Elmail, one message equals one allocation. No! No, don't spam me. Spam Eli for maximum allocations. Let's just turn Eli into a bank. The Pokemon bank. That's the mindset I have, saving for more product. Although I'm sending too much, take my money. That's so funny. Oh, that's tough, man. What's up, Patrick? Do you pay yourself, or do you cut a check, or what do you do? I pay myself literally nothing. So I bought myself a video game for the first time in 2 years because I've had free time recently. By recently, I mean like the past 2 weeks, because it's been slow in the market. And so I usually never play video games ever. I love video games, but I usually never play because I'm always just so busy, right? But this past 2 weeks, I'm like, all right, things are slowing down. I'm only working about 6 hours a day at most. Like, love that. Like, some days are, okay, I shouldn't say at most, but on average, you know, some days it's 4 hours, some days it's 8+, but like, I'm liking this. And so I'm like, well, I'm bored now. I'm not liking this as much. Like, I literally woke up this morning, right? And I was like, oh God, I was gone for a wedding. I'm probably going to be bombarded with messages. Like, I probably missed so much. I had like 5 or 6 messages this morning that I had to respond to. And then I turned on my computer and it was like, all right, well, time for me to go and see what orders I need to put in. And was like, wow, there's like 1 or 2 orders. Okay. What else do I have to do? Okay. Don't have to record a video. Did I go on a live stream today? Do I have any packages that need to ship out? Okay. No, packages aren't arriving until either tomorrow or Thursday. Okay. So don't have any packages that need to ship out. Oh, I got to call the guy for the other storefront and see when he can ship out any of the remaining packages. Okay, he ships that out tomorrow, so I don't work on that today. I'm like, okay, well, what do I do now? I'm like, okay, I guess I'm gonna grind Overwatch ranked or play freaking Hogwarts Legacy. Like, I definitely have recently gotten more free time, and it's nice, but it's not nice, right? Like, it's nice because it's refreshing. Like, I'm not used to not having this free time, and I've been focusing on like healing myself because as I was working more, I was taking care of myself less. Like, I wasn't eating as consistently, I wasn't exercising at all, and doing full recoveries for my rehabilitation of my groin injuries. So it's like, now I'm playing catch up on that, and then also, you know, getting ready for tax season, which is fun. So in terms of, wow, I really just went on a tangent there. So in terms of paying myself, wow, I cannot believe I just did that entire 180. Like, that had nothing to do with your question. I am so sorry, Patrick. In terms of paying myself, I don't pay myself. I spend money on food, groceries, so like food, groceries, utilities, and whatever rent is, and that's it. I don't pay myself. Everything goes back into the business. I recently, the point I was trying to make with that is that I'm very frugal. I never pay myself to buy anything luxurious because I'm so focused on the business. So me buying video games was a big deal because I never spend money on video games because I never have time to play. That was the whole point I was trying to make. And then I just completely, like, my ADHD just went like crazy. I was like, just went on a tangent. So I apologize. I will have to start paying myself pretty soon here, though, and because I am going to get another employee. I am starting to focus on growing the business. The business is scaling. It's doing well. I am in the process of starting a S Corp so that I will pay myself. It'll be better for tax reasons, but if I'm being honest, like, that money for paying myself will more than likely go to just investments, because the crypto market is pretty cheap right now, and I'm a huge believer in crypto, and staking crypto and getting a nice 8% to 15%, you know, APY sounds pretty nice. And then having some money set off to the side for other things would be nice to have. But I'm just, I'm always about, reinvesting in the business, growing the business as much as you can. That's kind of what my play is usually. Is a Patreon limit to it's like one order per month on open product, or can we order once a week and such? You can order as much as you want, Jim. You can literally order, if you want to order every single day, you can order every single day. The question is just, is the product available, right? Is the product available? And honestly, I've been having more people message me and ask questions like about Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh since Pokemon's been so dry. And I'm thinking about trying to find a way to scrape off of my distro pages so that I can just have it automated, because I want to give people the most value out of the program. And so if I can give people access to Yu-Gi-Oh or Magic product, and literally I just do one big shipment and I fly down to Oregon and I just, take a day to ship everything out for everyone and not make my employee have to do it all by himself, then I can do something like that just for you guys. But yeah, there's no limit to the amount of orders you can place. There's only a limit to what's available, obviously. Or spend out on a business account. Hi, good afternoon, Eli. How do you pay yourself? Do you cut a check or spend out of the business account? I spend predominantly on a credit card, if I'm being honest, because I get 2% cash back, which is nice. Especially too, one of my other cards is also a travel card, so it makes it so I get points for business travel. Like, for example, I took a trip down to California for the wedding. I had it all paid for by the points that I have earned from my travel card. What did I walk into? Mason says. Yeah, so Mason, let's see. I'm a little behind on messages. Shocker. You walked into us talking about how to commit fraud, specifically stealing people's identities. So yeah, Nah, don't target individuals, target the government. Many developing nations have decent funds and basically medical security. North Korea nearly stole $1 trillion from Bangladesh. Mason, we're not robbing banks. We are robbing banks so I can invest in baby shinies and Steam Seeds. Question, are people that like WotC over modern just boomers? Like, how can they justify to say old sets are even close to what they are putting out now? 1,000% they're boomers, Mason. 1,000%. Like, don't get me wrong. I have a big, appreciation of WotC. I grew up more in the EX era and the Diamond and Pearl era. But when I look at the art designs from back then versus now, it's all ultra modern. Has way better art design. It's just the nostalgic that's tied to it, right? Like, I'm not even kidding you. I remember I was working as a server once back in Oregon at this pasta restaurant. And I had someone come up to me and, he had a flip phone. And he was so proud that he had a flip phone because he just refused to, use advanced technology and something having to do with the government, spying on him. And I'm like, well, the government can still spy on you with that phone, can it? And he's like, well, maybe they might be able to, but I still refuse to, come to this new technology. That's just a young man's game. He just kind of went off, and I was like, that is so weird to me. What? Why would you think such a weird mentality to have? So you'd be surprised the people that are out there that just don't like change. It's insane, man. Change is always the future, obviously, when talking about technologically speaking. You just have to learn to adapt and then find the limitations of what is moral. And I don't think that should be you not getting a smartphone because of it's a young man's game. Just going against the streams to make money. That's how it is, baby. Hey, Eli, hope you're doing good, mate. Hey, what's up, Ben? Good to see you as always, brother. I'm doing not too bad. Ooh, department store says he could help with tax evasion. Hold on. Sorry. Screenshot taken. Click. All right, cool. Got him in my back pocket, boys. Caught him in the act. We have it live on stream. A professional tax accountant said he will help with tax evasion. So, got him, baby. Woo! Do the chicken nugget challenge now with hash browns or spicy wings. Ooh, I like spicy wings. Spicy wings are good. That could be a fun stream. Yep. Department, I lost money last year. Am I doing it right? Ooh. You know what they say? You have to spend money to make money. So in my mind, what that means is maxing out my credit card. For those of you guys that if you haven't seen Parks and Rec, I take a lot of inspiration from Entertainment 720. Their business model was phenomenal, right? You just max out your credit cards, just spend money, and then you just start making money, right? And that's just kind of what I've learned in life from a business perspective, right? This is financial advice. I am a financial advisor, 100% confirmed. If you can just, how do I want to say this? Max out your credit card and just hide from the credit card companies, then you're fine, right? The government's not going after you at all. I don't see the problem here. I think people just need to realize that taxes are a sham. Don't pay your taxes. It's just the smart thing to do. Just save yourself some money. Go buy yourself a nice car. I just don't understand. People are just idiots. Hopefully people realize this is all 100% a joke. Should have proposed with a PSA 10 Charizard. What an idiot I am, Christian. What the heck, man? Poco Trainer Mason. Have a great rest of your May, Trainer Mason. Other Mason from Cardinal Games says, that's people everywhere. There's people everywhere. Can confirm. Have an app that tracks you within a 10-mile radius. What? Where are you going with this? Are you getting more crowns into the ETBs from distro? Potentially I am, yes. Oh, Eli, I joined a volleyball league so I can train to be good enough to play with you. Summer times come up, let's get it. Oh, that's sick, actually, dude. You joined a volleyball league? Oh, that's so cool, brother. Congrats. Oh, I love volleyball. It's so good. Oh, I love volleyball. My cousin's in a volleyball class, and when I was visiting this weekend, I just was talking to him forever about volleyball, and he likes it. He enjoys it. I did mean long-term investments. Thanks, though, on the Shining Fates investing. Already answered that question. Friends are temporary. Xbox friends are forever. Amen. I think the market might live up a bit when Scarlet Violet comes out. I've heard mixed reviews about some of the other short print Sword and Shield sets. Delight get a bump. Either way, it upset the apple cart. I definitely would expect there to be more product coming out shortly after Scarlet Violet. It just makes the most sense that way. What he really means is 11:10 a.m. because he will always be late. JK. You say JK, but you're kind of not wrong. I am typically late by like 5 minutes. Punctuality is something that I need to get better at. My fiance says I have no concept of time. She's like, I'll be like, yeah, I'll easily 10 minutes. I'll see you in 10 minutes. And it'll be like 15, 20 minutes later. And she'll be like, I thought you said 10 minutes. I'm like, that was 10 minutes. And she's like, no, it's not 10 minutes. I'm like, what? Yes, it is. And it's just bad. It's just... time flies, man. Knowledge apologies, bro. I'm here for the rant as well. Appreciate you, Patrick. What's up, Andrew Klein? Good to see you, brother. Hopefully all's well with you. Credit cards are huge to understand how to utilize for business. Maybe you should make a video on how to properly utilize a credit card for a Pokemon business. I mean, it's honestly pretty simple. Make sure you have the money when a new set release comes out and pay it off with a credit card once you are charged from your distro. Like pretty self-explanatory. Just don't go into debt. I mean, it's like, I don't know, it doesn't really need to be more complicated than that. Okay, I am going to buy $1,000 worth of Pokemon product that I'm going to then leverage by buying it in the future to continuously bankroll and grow my bankroll because I'm leveraging the quote-unquote debt that I have with my credit card, right? Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the money that I made off the credit card, and I'm then going to pay the credit card off. And then I'm going to have extra money in the bank. Simple as that. I mean, it's just, that's just how it is. That's just kind of how I look at it, right? Just continuously paying off your credit card debt so that you never incur interest, because that's when you're crushing yourself, because then your 2% cash back on a credit card is negative 23% because you're accruing interest. Don't do that. Pay off your credit card. Be smart. That's the thing, is like, there's a reason why Dave Ramsey's so successful, because most people can't handle a credit card. I am very much like, debt scares me, so I am very much the exact opposite. I'm over here like, all right, end of credit card statement, negative $3,000 balance because I have a surplus of the amount of money because I overpaid on my credit card. Do I do that every time? No, of course not, because I like having cash, liquid, but there's times, man. It's similar to people who think classic music is the only music. Watsy heads are the same. I can feel that, Mr. Mime. I mean, but here's the deal, man. I will make a statement, though, about that. I do think it is fair to say that music progressively has gotten worse, not better. And I think Pokemon has progressively gotten better, not worse. Because although I will admit that new modern music is still considered music, I do think that the classics themselves are far superior than a lot of the modern music that we're getting. Sure, you'll get a banger every so often, but I just think that there's so much music that in the past 10 years has just been like, or not 10 years, definitely shouldn't say 10 years. In the past, like, 5 years have been just kind of crap, not really good music. I mean, 2010s, 2009, 2011, 12, that era, total banger. Like early 2000s, early 2010s, incredible music. Some really good music. So 2000s were banging. And I mean, I can think of so many different eras, right? But if I really think about the era most recently of music, like there's some good songs here and there, but even then, like, not really. There's so many good classics, I feel like, that are just far superior when it comes to bands and singers. Like, I don't know, man. It's just, that's just kind of how I am with it. I've listened to music less and less because of it, because I just enjoy it less, because I just don't think it's that good. I mean, you hear rap nowadays. There's so much mumble rap music, so much crap. Like, there's still good rappers with a good message if you're into rap. But it just feels less and less prevalent. Obviously, in terms of pop music, I feel like most of the pop music feels pretty repetitive at this point. But I don't know. Maybe I'm weird. Maybe I'm a boomer in some instances. But I don't think me saying that early 2000s and like early 2010s is really good music means that, because that's just most recently, within the past, like, 5 years, I feel like it's really started to take a dive. Kind of like me saying that Call of Duty most recently has started to kind of take a dive, because it's true. The quality for a lot of things have gotten worse. Mozart, that's modern music. Rock and bones is all you need. I do love Mozart. I do love classical music as well, though. I love all music, though, man. It's hard for you to find music I don't like. Okay, maybe a little bit of death metal. Not a big fan of that. But I love all types of music. I can appreciate all types of music. I just think the quality of music across the board has kind of gone down a little bit. Reminds me of a time a lady got irritated that I was shopping and I was looking at the calories. I don't know. She was mad you were looking at the calories? What? How does that happen? They say you have to spend money, make money. Well, I don't know where we went wrong. We spent all of our money. Debt is tax free. That's so good. That's so funny, dude. Oh my god, that's so good. I love this. I love this trolling. This is so funny. Oh my god. Hey, do you have any investment advice for new collectors entering the market? Now, what type of moves would you make small scale or large scale purchases, and what would you buy? Charizard Ultra Premium Collection is what I am huge on right now. I think it's the most slept on item, and I will explain why it's the most slept on item. It's the same reason why people are emotional. Oh my gosh, the Charizard Ultra Premium Collection is $300. Man, I really wish it was at MSRP. That is such a good product. I think it's obviously gonna do so well because of how much it's priced at. Oh my gosh, the Charizard Ultra Premium Collection, it's only $80 now because it got printed in the ground. Wow, that product's a total brick. I would never buy that product. It's just people being emotional. They're like, oh my god, it was at $300. I wish it was cheaper. Then I would have totally bought it. Oh my god, it's cheaper. Obviously, that means it sucks as a product. I'm not going to buy it. It's always people just rationalizing why they should never jump into something because they're emotional and fearful. And you just got to take advantage of that, right? And so Charizard Ultra Premium Collection is a product I think is an insanely undervalued product, like insanely undervalued. It blows my mind that a product like that is so cheap, because it would not surprise me that by the end of the year that product goes up to $200. That would not surprise me. At least 150 plus. Like a product like that, it's such a good product in terms of looking at it from an investment perspective. It has Evolving Skies, it has Brilliant Star, it has 3 Charizard alternate art cards. It's got a sick box display. It's got really cool there's just so much value out of it. The playmat is cool. I don't like the sleeves, but that's here nor there, right? Like the value you can get out of this item is insane, right? It blows my mind that people don't pick up this item. But like I said before, it's the same old emotional thing that is the same, you know, it's just the same old story, right? So if you're new to the hobby, I don't know what your kind of budget is, if you're saying, but I would say best thing to do is just feed up on these UPCs, man. They are so undervalued still. Picking them up for $90 a pop. I mean, hell, even $100 is a good deal. But if you can pick it up for 80, 90, like cha-ching, baby. Long-term investment. Hold that easy. Pokemon TCG, the biggest and best investment you can make is time in the hobby. Learn, live, and breathe Pokemon. You'll understand the fundamentals of the hobby and gain intuition for good shit. Do you have any investment advice for collectors and the market? What types of moves you would make? Okay, so obviously I gave you which product I'd be picking up if I were new. But in terms of investment advice, I 100% agree with what Average Player says. I think what Average Player says is definitely time in the market. It really gives you a maturity of understanding how the market works. Also being informed by watching other people and looking at the history of their... You wanted me to be honest on how I really got like in touch with the market. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm someone obviously who's been in the market for a very long time, but I haven't been in the investment sphere of the market as much as people might think. What I did was I binged watched every single YouTuber and all of their content and just would continuously rewatch it. Like, I'm talking, I rewatched all of Rudy's videos they talked about Pokemon. I reached all of the videos with SM Pratt. Like, all of these guys that have been around the hobby for the past 5 years, like, I literally just watched them for hours on end. Like, rewatched them all, and I continuously did. And I made a, like, snapshot in my mind of the time in which the video was made and how this can be relevant to today. Because I think the best way to learn about the present is by learning about the past. Because the past tends to repeat itself, right? History always repeats itself because humans are humans and human nature and human tendency. So I think going back and looking at people's videos and learning about what happened then and how it is going to replay and repeat itself is what I would recommend if you are someone that really wants to get good at the market, right? Because when you can start to realize that you have the internet, which is just an open book of information for having timestamps of what happened in history, and seeing that, it's kind of like with, you know, the reprints for Roaring Skies, right? I didn't have access to a distributor when that happened, so I didn't know that because I had access to a distributor back in, you know, when did it come out? 2014, 2015, right? I just knew it because of all the countless videos that I watched of people talking about the reprints happening during that time and how it drastically affected the market price when he was pushing $300 for a Roaring Skies booster box, right? I just know that because of all the videos that I watched that are 6, 7, 8 years old, right? Like, that's just kind of what you have to be able to understand, right? How do I know the pack weights of the, WotC booster packs? How do I know that? Because I watch videos of people opening the WotC booster packs. It's not because I weighed booster packs when I was a kid, right? Like, that's just how it is. Use that information, right? Take advantage of that. We need a Pokemon meetup for a club. Hey man, as I grow, these things will become more a reality. I've seen some product that are highly in demand, like Evolving Skies. However, I'm not able to buy it now to save up, and I'm afraid these products will sell out soon, so I wonder for how long. Patience is a virtue is the one thing I can say to that. In terms of Evolving Skies products, obviously, I talked about it in yesterday's video, which product I like the most for Evolving Skies in terms of their general pack price value. So as long as you can find those in store, preferably, then I think you should have an opportunity to find it. But obviously, if your area is, selling out of them quick, then it's kind of tough at that point, other than to either take a risk of purchasing online or just the safe play is being patient and waiting for reprints of product to happen. Pay the CC company or the government? Pay neither. What are you talking about? What a sham. Modern cinematic orchestra pieces are way better than classical composure. Modern composers of classic music are legit. Hans Zimmer, for example. I love Yo-Yo Ma. He's also pretty good. Sandstorm, Robert says. Modern music is MetaZoo. Lol. Freebird guitar solo will always hit. Freebird's pretty fire. This is hands down the best live on YouTube. I appreciate that, Wrath. Poke Department Store says Digi beat you. What did Digi say? Debt is tax free. I mean, he did beat you. It's just so funny to think about because I know he's being serious about it, but it's hilarious because of what we were saying about you got to spend money to make money. So you literally just run yourself in the debt so you don't have to pay taxes. I want to get more Charizard UPCs, but I think a better performer or at least more high risk item is the MTG Phyrexia complete bundle. And here's the thing, DigiSmith, as someone who doesn't know much about Magic, I can't say whether you're correct or not, but I'm going to take your word and say probably, but I also have no clue. I give people a time window instead of an exact time. I used to be late to everything, but rarely happens since I've started doing this 5 to 6 instead of 5:30. Makes sense. I say ish. That's what I've always done, is I say ish. So like, I'll be like, hey, do you want to play like video games around 11ish? Hey, do you want to hang out around 11ish? And they're like, yeah, that totally works, right? Because that way it gives me like a little bit of a, like I said ish, I didn't say at 11. Best strategy to build a YouTube channel so you can buy product, then hype it up. See, Solomon understands market manipulation, baby. That's big brain stuff. CJ, what's up, CJ? What is going on? Oh, just tax fraud. Nothing to see here. If you're in the market for a long time, you kind of just get the feel for what's a good pick. Then you have to never unload something better. That also, yeah, man. I mean, that's definitely a big part of it. Same, I watched Pokemon investing videos for like 2 months straight, then I developed my own understanding and ran my own business how I want. Yep, exactly. Let's say all yellow board cards have been printed. The only silver board is being printed now. How would that inform your investment strategies, right? Meow. I mean, honestly, it's really hard to say how that's going to have an effect on the market at this moment in time. When it comes to yellow borders, I think that people are going to look at it from the nostalgic perspective, because people will always look at something from the nostalgic perspective. Is that going to generally change my investment strategy? Not really. I mean, if it's a good deal for silver borders, if it's a good deal for yellow borders, I don't care. I'm going to pick it up because I think it's a good deal regardless. So nothing really changes from an investment perspective. You just have to, the only thing that really matters is the new prices for MSRP and wholesale. That's the only thing that matters. Now, if you want to talk FOMO, nothing has anything on One Piece The itch to buy and open isn't real. Yeah, right. I mean, there's not many distributors that have One Piece, to be fair, too. Appreciate you guys. I actually got to listen to your stream live today. Sup, Eli and Alex have some of the best. You and Alex have some of the best knowledge in the hobby. I appreciate that, Nick. Thank you so much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are at the witching hour. You know what that means? We got 5 minutes left before we've hit the 2-hour mark. If you were not here when I made the announcement, tomorrow I will be dropping our extra 50 slots for the wholesale program. We're going to do 25 slots at $75 and another 25 slots at $100. Would not be surprised if all the slots get filled. As mentioned before, the reason why I'm doing this is because I want to make sure that the people that are part of the program are serious about the program, and so they're going to hop in now while the market is slow, so that when product is going to pick up, then obviously they're in for the long haul. They're not just here to just quickly get in and then leave because of a reprint and they're now satiated. Like, these are people that are super serious about this program, and people that look at this not only as just like a side way to make cash, but also for some people are making it a full-time gig. Like, I've had some people message me saying that they're considering quitting their jobs because of the wholesale program. I said, settle down, not yet. It's not that consistent entirely, but don't worry. Once we get allocations going and we continue to scale this thing, then heck yeah, you could totally make this a long-term play, no question. But let's answer the last couple of questions before we head on out. But yeah, that'll be dropped tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Solomon says, One Piece promos are being sold for huge amounts. Some of the people are running for them event to event just to collect them and sell. Yo, did you see the classic thingy? Did I miss it, or are you pretending not to see it? The classic thingy? Are you talking about like the classic item? I don't know what you mean by the classic thingy. That's kind of hard for me. Cause like the classic thingy, I think I know what you're talking about. I think you're referencing the Pokemon trading card game classic box. I mean, it's whatever. It's not that crazy. I mean, it'll be probably a good investment, but I don't know. It's just the same old reprint of products. Kind of look at it. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the comments of people are just being like, great, more reprints. It's $275. Dang, dude, that's crazy. I mean, the item will do well. Like, it's a cool item. I don't know. I guess I'm just tired of getting excited over these 3 cards being reprinted all the time. Or specifically this one in the middle. It's cool, though. It will be a cool product. Don't get me wrong. It'll be one that's good investment. Raz says, you said today you'll plug all the announcements in Discord you mentioned during stream. Correct. So I will make the announcements for the program being opened up for the slots tomorrow, and then I will also let you guys know later today in the wholesale program, for those of you guys that are in it right now, about the allocations for the chests that have the Evolving Skies and Brilliant Star. For a full-time gig, get an accountant. Pokemon department store. Man, I thought you were working for someone. Are you just starting your own practice? My goodness gracious, this guy is so funny. Is it a monthly subscription or one-time fee? Monthly subscription, because I mean, I would be losing money if it was a monthly subscription, or if it wasn't one. If you're getting an individual Evolving Skies pack, would you rip or save? One pack? I mean, I might as well rip it. It's one pack, I guess. But save? Yeah, I don't know. Rip it. Frick it. Listening to Pokemon live stream, working on my garden. Love that, Christian. Love that, brother. But alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, I'm wrapping it up right now. That is all for today's video. Thank you guys all so much for watching. As always, make sure to leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe to enter into our weekly giveaways. And if you want to join the channel or the awesome community, check out the links down in the description below. Lastly, make sure to be there for when we drop the 50 more slots into the wholesale program, because it's probably going to sell out quick. All of that is going to be dropped live tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I will make the full announcement for that later today on our Discord as well as our YouTube page, so you can see the full explanation if you want to read it, if you didn't get to see that part of the announcement on today.